Welcome, friends, to the Gamer Down. This is your host, Dark Hostess, and today we are looking at The Witcher 2. Yeah, I'm very excited about this game. I was a gigantic fan of The Witcher 1. I guess one thing that really gets me about the Witcher series is they're not afraid to be mature, and they're not afraid to show some boob. They're not afraid to curse. But, you know, the cursing is used in a manner where it's not like some games where it's like F you every few seconds. The Witcher does it tactfully. And it makes sense, you know. It's just not a F you just because for the sake of saying F you. The storyline is very mature, which I'm sure a lot of people can appreciate. Because, you know, a lot of RPGs are dumbed down and they're made, you know, for a younger audience, and The Witcher 1 and 2, they're made for a mature audience indeed, and they are deal with storylines that you won't usually find in other games. And you know, the main character, Geralt, this is a man's game, is what I like to call it. It's the type of game that men just really love. You know, you play the badass hero and you get all the women. And there's no bones about it, you know. They show everything, and there's plenty of blood, and there's plenty of guts, and there's plenty of action. And this whole RPG is complete action. It's an amazing game. So let's settle in for a little bit of gameplay and check this game out. I'll try not to talk too much because the voice acting and the action, I really hate to ruin it by speaking over such wonderful, wonderful gameplay. But before we get into the meat of the game itself, you will notice like a few flickering lights across my screen. And that was a problem I had with The Witcher 1 as well. I don't know what exactly that's about. It's a problem I never found a solution to. The flickering lights and, you know, a few gameplay issues. You know, nothing game breaking though. Let's get back to this nice game now.
Come on, Sixes, Daddy needs you. Oh, shit! Ha! 20 orange to Grandad. Looky there, he's awake. You daft! Don't go in there!
Shut it, he's in chains, can't do a thing.
Am I right, Master Geralt? Roll again! Why? The dice didn't roll! Calling me a cheat? Take it back. Look, he's awake again. Monster Slayer, my ass. A regular horson. I heard witches all start out as roadside orphans taken in by mages. Mages who experiment on them. Folks say they plough witches come the equinox.
I thought this might be a good place to break in and do a little commentary.
Enough!
Anyhow, Geralt, he is being held in prison. And the very first part of The Witcher, you were flashing back, and it's also a bit of a tutorial to teach you how to play. And it's pretty awesome how they've built it both in together and intertwined it together so you don't really realize you're taking a tutorial or doing a tutorial. And you are offered multiple storylines with The Witcher as well. There's multiple endings, and each of your decisions will, you know, determine a different ending to a quest or such. It's just such as this, you know. You can be really nice And that can get you further, or you can be a total dick and see where that takes you. There's multiple endings for some of the quests and forks and different roads to take during your quest line. So let me let you watch a little bit more of this.
Unshackle him. You will tell me everything you remember. The entire assault. And all that happened in the Solar.
And if I refuse?
I shall have to beat you. I've commanded the Special Forces for a while. Got good at beating others. You're a Witcher. You'd endure much.
You better believe it.
Worst case scenario, you'll suffer through it, go back to your cell, and tomorrow, they'll publicly gut you, skin you, and hang you.
Just like that? For nothing?
No. For Temeria.
Downright praiseworthy. Where should I start?
It was a long day. I wish to hear the important bits.
And here you are finally offered some of your first choices. And you can flashback to all three of these, and you will eventually see the same thing. So you don't miss anything by picking something else. But the replayability of The Witcher is quite high. At least 3 or 4 times. You could play through this game choosing different paths and different decisions. And I must apologize for having to censor. I am not a big fan of censoring. I hate censoring. But this is YouTube, and I can't show tits, and I can't show pubic hair, so it's going to be covered up. But in The Witcher itself, there's plenty of tits, and plenty of boobs, and there's plenty of butts, and there's plenty, whatever, I mean, it's part of the storyline, it's a mature game. What can I say? If this game was rated, it would be a rated R movie, maybe close to a low X, I guess you could say, but it's rated mature when it comes to game-wise. It's a great story, and they're not afraid. They're not afraid to show boobs, and like I've said before, that's what kind of makes it a really awesome game, because they are not afraid.
His Majesty, King of Temeria, Pontar, Mahakam, and Sodden, Senior Protector of Bruges, summons Master Geralt to appear before him.
Tell him I'll be there shortly.
Sorry to intrude like this, milady, but the King...
We heard you.
A pleasant day to you, milady. Witcher.
And maybe you see why I say that this game is a man's game, because I really can't imagine too many females out there exactly wanting to play a bloodthirsty womanizer. I doubt that that's something most females are interested. If you are, well, I'd like to meet you.
Each other en masse. Why? Because Foltest's having a spat with the mother of his bastard twins. This is a really stupid war, Triss.
Bastards or not, the children are still royal blood. The Lavalettes are an old Temerian dynasty, and the mix is sufficient basis to vie for the crown. History has known stranger contenders.
Which doesn't change the fact.
I know. Foltest and the other northern monarchs are neither the smartest nor the most refined, but they're kings, one of whom we serve.
And I'll see Foltest is summoned, protect him if need be. But once the castle falls, we leave.
Did you dream of the wild hunt again?
Mm-hmm. The unlucky assassin? How did the autopsy go?
It was a nightmare. In the months since you killed him, the king's medics poked around in his corpse like a bunch of amateurs. What arrived in that cart? Well, I wouldn't even call it a corpse.
Foltest has some trust issues. Did you learn anything?
His pupils suggested he could probably see in the dark as well as you. I couldn't put an age on him.
The killer snuck past all the guards and nearly killed Foltest and me a month ago. And now you tell me he was a witcher?
Possibly. I'm just saying what the autopsy showed. I haven't told anyone, nor do I plan to. I know what it could do to you if it got out. You might be a savior, a king's witcher now, but masters can be as fickle as the colts they ride.
I get the feeling that dream's important. Running frantically through the forest, the wild hunt. They're the last things I remember. I wake up and try to relive the dream and the memory, hoping I'll find some guidance. Some clue to grab onto, something that'll help me recover my memory.
Dreams can be very powerful. Some people claim they can even shape reality.
People claim a lot of things. The problem is, it's often nonsense.
We'll know in time. I'm sure of it.
And here you can see
All right.
some of your choices
Time to look to the
and
lustful
different
king and his
paths
stupid
you can take
war.
as well.
I'll join you later.
And finally, the gameplay begins, and you finally gain control of your character. And you can wander around, and this is a bit of the tutorial zone right here. And you can just see the stunning and amazing graphics. This game is just gorgeous. Beautiful game. It's a new engine from the last Witcher. It's even more beautiful than that.
Company!
Imagine that.
All in! Attention! I said attention, imbecile! Where are you from, Flunky? Murky Waters, Sergeant. Murky Waters up your arse! Barrels of it! Yes, sir, Sergeant, sir. Those trebuchets are fucking bad. You seek the king. He waits near the machine. No reason to go in here.
Cheer up, Witcher!
No passage.
Don't see Foltest, Geralt. For the fury.
You going into battle, Geralt? A beautiful day for battle. Fear not, Excellency. We're out of range of their arbalists.
I am no warrior, sir. I must admit, I prefer to joust
Finally! Traitors of the realm boil tar on the walls while you dally with the royal advisor.
How may I assist you, sire?
We mount an assault today, and you'll be at my side. Follow me, gentlemen. Let's not keep the traitors waiting.
Sire, you said we were out of range.
That was a ballista, Excellency. Its arms strengthened with bronze plates and strung with horsehair. It can propel heavy bolts up to a mile away. A deadly and very costly weapon. An experienced crew can cock and release 2 bolts each minute. Yet it has one flaw.
Your Grace, please take cover.
The recoil of the arms is so strong upon firing that the weapon shifts. It simply cannot hit the same spot twice.
I had no idea Your Grace was a learned military engineer.
I'm not. I gave the Baroness those ballistae 2 years ago for her birthday.
Sire.
What say you, Excellency, of men who live in spite of such wounds?
And what say you, Your Grace, of soldiers who inflict them?
Those who did this live no more.
Master Geralt, I wish to converse with you once the storm of battle has subsided.
Forgive me, Excellency. I plan to leave the royal court as soon as possible.
Might I know why?
Too often I take me for someone I'm not.
What do they call you, soldier? Wait. You served with me at Brenneran during our foray into the Pontar Valley. Norman Sadel. Still an arbalist?
Yes, sir. Fight has not been kind to me.
Ha! Norman Sador. For your years of faithful service to the crown, I appoint you Decurion of the Arbalists. Onwards, gentlemen. No reason to dawdle.
Forgive my candor, Your Majesty, but I must ask, what fate awaits the royal bastards when...
They're my children. If I hear bastard one more time, someone will die. Painfully.
Your Grace, forgive me. But the laws of succession are irrefutably clear.
Piss on the laws. I'll change them if need be. Above all, I'll not allow a band of treacherous barons to use my children as their banner.
Your Majesty is entirely within his rights.
Ada is dead, and I have no other children.
I see.
This conversation is over, Excellency. Please retire to your tent. Black ones in my camp before a battle. What has the world come to? Nothing would make me happier than returning his shriveled head to Emir in a sack. But Triss Merigold insisted I be patient and courteous. Was I?
I couldn't have handled it better myself.
Ha! I always knew you were one of us. And bugger what folks say. They talked about Ada no end. Have you learned anything about the assassin?
Triss did an autopsy.
Not 6 months ago, he swore eternal friendship to me. Quickly! How much higher?
And here you can see one of the newer features to The Witcher 2. And, you know, it acts like you're doing something, but I've run through this scenario multiple times, and each time it played out the exact same time. You can say that exact same way. I always missed. The guy always ducked. So I do not believe there is any different scenario for this. You know, if you miss it, you miss it. I think you miss it every single time. You see, just like I did there.
Did we hit the bastard?
He ducked.
Damn it! We'll get him on the walls. Follow me, Witcher! She made demands I could...
And now I'd like to touch on some of the newer features of The Witcher 2. And you can now climb ladders. You can now get over small embankments, and you do not have to go all the way around anymore. That is such a godsend from the last one. And just look at the amazing detail. I mean, they do not miss anything in the Witcher games. You know, they have all these small little details, you know, that you're just going to keep coming across and coming across. And you're going to get very involved in the story. I mean, that's why I just love this game so much, because you can get engrossed into this entire story. The immersive quality of this game is just so high. There's not many games I can even name that draw me in with such immersive quality. And now let's move on to a little bit of the combat, shall we?
Dragon! Take cover! To the hoardings! Protect the king!
Now, admittedly, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But basically, it is your left button, your right button. And this is a bit of an obstacle course that I failed at miserably. I have this on normal difficulty, and it's still pretty tough. It's still pretty tough. And, you know, you're going to have to learn how to do your combat a little bit. It's not that easy. You know, you're going to have to use the parry, use all the things that are at your disposal. And, you know, you just can't just rush in and just swing, and let guys get behind you and annihilate you. And as you see, with this mature rating, there's plenty of blood spray and plenty of gore. So this has been a look at The Witcher 2. I am your host, Dark Hoses. I hope you've enjoyed this look at The Witcher 2. If you've enjoyed this video, please thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, You should be, because I am always putting out reviews and also cover a lot of MMOs and different things like that.
Got to get to the town.
Thank you for joining.
Is it true you witches don't hunt dragons? This one doesn't seem to know that.
You want me to go over and tell him?
Go ahead, you're the